In this video, I'm going to show you the firestorm that's brewing right in front of your face right now that you're not paying attention to. That was a mouthful. I'm going to say it again slow. Firestorm brewing. Hold on one second. We about to get to the bottom of this, ladies and gentlemen. This don't make no sense whatsoever. Welcome to the Dark Waters channel, where we explore mysteries, figure out the truth, dive into politics, and anything else you want to know about. That's what we doing over here, baby. Let's go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope things are going well for you today. They're going well for me right now. I want to show you some things, and we're going to get back on the ball real quick. Now, there's a lot of contention around DOGE. And yesterday we saw the information come out about the millions of dollars that's being paid via Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid overseas. And then Stephen Miller came out and he explained it. So let's find out what's actually going on with your money. For real. Don't you want to know what's going on with your money? I don't care if you're liberal or you're conservative. Don't you want to know what's going on? All of us working. Don't you want to know where your money going? Watch this.
What are the plans to do so if those records are obtained?
Well, as we know, there's a massive amount of fraud in this country. You have, for example, foreign fraud rings. These are foreign nationals who come into the United States. They use fake Social Security numbers. They use fake identities to steal billions in taxpayer benefits. There's no way to know until DOGE gains full access exactly how much money we're talking about. But over a 10-year normal budget window, you could be talking about saving over $1 trillion by clamping down on massive fraud in our tax and entitlement systems, including, again, those carried out by organized fraud and theft rings. A very important point in all this is to understand that DOGE are subordinate staffers of the federal government. They are political appointees, just like me, just like everyone else in the White House, that serve and answer to the president. So we're not talking about an outside private entity. We're talking about the existing federal staff of the federal government performing their statutory and constitutional duty.
So basically, criminal fraud rings have come into America, stolen IDs, and it makes sense why a 300-year-old person is getting money, is getting benefits. It's fraud. Now, I'm pretty sure when we get to the bottom of it, we'll come to the understanding that there's no way they can commit this fraud without help. But the truth is coming out. And it's very important that this truth comes out, ladies and gentlemen, because if we can't get to the truth, if the truth can't be disclosed to the American people, we are screwed. Totally screwed. So, Stephen Miller, I call him the semi-autistic OG of politics, is telling you guys what's actually going on. They're stealing our money. And they're stealing us blind. When you look at it, it's despicable. It's 100% despicable. Meanwhile, everybody wants to attack this man. And I said this the other day. It's like somebody coming in your house and robbing your house and stealing everything. But the guy who's on the security monitors that's calling you, telling you, hey, got somebody that broke in your house and they stole everything. You want to attack the guy who's on a security monitor, looking at everything going on and telling you about the crime. That's who we want to attack. That's how backwards America is right now. And that's how you know it's on wickedness that's going on. Because we want to attack the person who's identifying the fraud. And then people have to cover it, because we need to make it be understood to everybody that you can't do that. Wow.
Obviously, did Sorgen see your penis at all?
No.
Okay. No. But obviously, in this case, whatever happened has already happened, right? It's about, how's it going, sir? We're just having a conversation here with Ross. He's the head of OSHA over 5 states for the federal government. Basically, you're not going to talk to a 13-year-old again, are you?
No.
Last time doing it?
Yeah, everything's deactivated and done.
Okay, you're not sending a penis picture to one again, are you?
No.
Okay. And there's going to be no mishaps that happen.
Did my wife call?
There's going to be, you're not going to send a penis pic to one again, are you? This last time doing something like this?
Wow. The head of OSHA? Wow. Man, Alex Rosen is an OG. I don't know about Alex Rosen. But he an OG. Yeah. The OSHA?
Okay. All right. More mishaps with your niece, right? With Sorgen? Okay.
No, they don't hear anymore.
Okay. You're not rubber butt again. She's not going to brush your penis.
And he's him confessing in front of the police. And he just confessing. No. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Okay, well, yeah. This is, what's
Wow. It all need to come out, man. So you the head of OSHA running around messing with little children? This is insane, guys. Holy crap. Because the climate crisis is a scam and money laundering to wealth from us to the elites and to the haters, know this story was not debunked. They don't know where the money went. 41 billion of World Bank's climate change funds have gone missing. Wow. Let's verify that is true. 41 billion climate change funds have gone missing. Well, New York Post, World Bank bureaucrats lost track of 24 billion in funds fighting climate change, could be twice or 10 times more. Wow. Wow. Bungling World Bank bureaucrats lost 24 billion bankrolling the battle against climate change, according to bombshell report by left-leaning charity group. An investigation by Oxfam revealed let's look at the investigation ourselves so nobody won't say. Oxfam International up to 41 billion in World Bank climate change finance not properly being tracked. Up to 41 billion in world climate. Let me shrink it so you can see, because you're not seeing this. Here it is. Wow. And you want to make my videos talk about this. Up to 41 billion in World Bank climate finance, nearly 40% off climate funds disbursed by the bank over the past 7 years due to poor record-keeping practices, reveals a new Oxfam report published today ahead of World Bank and IMF annual meeting in Washington, D.C. This was in October of 2024. An Oxfam audit of the World Bank's 2017 to 2023 climate finance portfolio found that 24 billion and 41 billion in climate finance went unaccounted for between the time projects were approved and when they close. There's no clear public record showing where the money went or how it was used, which makes any assessment of its impact impossible. It also remains unclear whether these funds were even spent on climate change crisis and invested in clean energy. The bank is quick to brag about its financing climate billions, but these numbers are based on what it plans to spend, not only what it actually spends once a project gets rolling, said Kate Downell, head of Oxfam International Washington, D.C. office. This is like asking your doctor to assess your diet only by looking at your grocery list without even checking what actually ends up in your refrigerator. The bank is the largest multilateral provider of climate finance, according to 52% of the total flow from all multilateral development banks combined. What they're saying is that these people laid up here and stole this money, 41 billion. And that's what the World Economic Forum, remember we said this, the World Economic Forum is always going on and on and on about this. Watch this, World Economic Forum, climate. They go on and on and on about it. Let's just see. Watch what they say. Hold on. So when you place up in airs and up in arms about this.
Today we face two new and profound threats that demand far more global attention and action because they threaten to upend life as we know it. The climate crisis and the ungoverned expansion of artificial intelligence. First, climate chaos. I recently saw an analysis that exposed the grim irony of the world's biggest ports for oil supertankers will be overwhelmed by rising sea levels. Rising seas, which are caused by rising temperatures, and rising temperatures, which are overwhelmingly caused by burning fossil fuels. Our fossil fuel addiction is a Frankenstein monster, sparing nothing and no one. All around us, we see clear signs that the monster has become master. We just endured the hottest year and the hottest decade in history. Sea level rise, heat waves, floods, storms, droughts and wildfires, and that are just a preview of the horror movie to come. A world where every economy feels the pain of supply chains severed, of infrastructure destroyed, of higher prices and higher insurance premiums, or no insurance at all.
Bruh, it's all a scam and a hustle. It's all a hustle for these people, man. So yeah, it's all a hustle. A terrible hustle that you and I pay for. Klaus Schwab.
I see.
I mean, it's the best hustle on the planet, man. I mean, come on, bruh.
A tremendous effort in terms now behind net zero. Not only governments, but business. We have a number of initiatives that's the world. For example, we work sector by sector, how to decarbonize those industries. So there is an awareness now, it's generally accepted that climate change, will not tackle with it, could the next big, let's say, virus with much more damaging and long-term consequences compared to COVID-19. I see a tremendous effort in terms of rallying now behind net zero. Not governments, but business. We have a number of initiatives at the World Economic Forum. For example, we work sector by sector, how to decarbonize those industries.
So sector by sector, how to get money. Because decarbonization and all the rest of this requires requires funding. So sector by sector, they get money. So imagine you get funds, climate change, sector by sector. So in the economic sector, they get money. In the farming sector, they get money. In the sector that deals with water, they're getting money for climate change. It's a way for them to get every government to open up their checkbook and send all their money. Bruh.
Today we face two new and profound...
Shut up. Man, it's quite frankly, it's insane that we allowed these people to scam us this long. You know what I'm saying? It really is. Vice President just put Mehdi Hassan out to pasture. Oh, my Lord. Don't think Hassan was expecting a response. Yes, dummy. I think there's difference between not giving a reporter a seat in the White House press room and jailing people for dissenting views. The latter is a threat to free speech. The former is not. Hope this helps. Who is Mehdi Hassan? Mehdi Hassan. Hey, J.D. Vance, I know you're busy lecturing Europeans on free speech, but have you seen this? President Trump's decision to limit AP reporters' access is as much a fight for Gulf of Mexico as it is a protest of what White House advisors say is years of liberal word choices at AP's influential style book has spread across mainstream media. Wow. So the vice president responded to this dude. Yes, dummy. Wow. Welcome back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a time period people get chin checked. Yeah. Instead of just saying dumb stuff and letting people get away with it. Because we were in a time period where nobody chin checked anybody. Yes, dummy. I think there's a difference between not giving a reporter a seat in the White House press briefing room and jailing people for dissenting views. The latter is a threat to free speech. The former is not. Hope that helps. Who is this clown? Mehdi Hassan. A British journalist, editor-in-chief, CEO of a new media company. Wow. And so his reply is, open vice president to come on my show and do an interview with me about the state of free speech in U.S. and Europe. He won't accept, of course, as he has a safe space on Fox, but I'm making an offer anyways in the name of free speech and free debate. Wow. Wow. Well, you asked for it. And this is the craziest journalist. I wouldn't take the debate with you, but I would chin check you. Now, naturally, the smart thing for him to do is call it out and try and make it seem like, oh, he's afraid of me. But ain't no need to debate free speech. He told you in Germany where we stand on free speech. Point blank, period. So I wouldn't debate you. I wouldn't equate I wouldn't rant on social media appearance. You crazy. You won't. But I would chin check you. And ain't nothing you could do about it. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. So yeah, I want to Alex has cut out his stuff. Is our 5-year nightmare finally over? Hopefully it is. This is in reference to what started in 2020. Robert Kennedy Jr.'s confirmation as Secretary of Human Health and Services of the United States is the ultimate repudiation of the blank policies. The lockdowns, bada bing, bada boom. This is hard to read because it's going to have it in every word. So basically, the question is the nightmare that we went through, that started in 2020 over? And I'm glad it is, but we'll know if it's over completely when Dr. Anthony Fauci gets what's coming to him. That is when we will know that it is over, and it will not be tried again until Dr. Anthony Fauci gets his just due politically, legally, through the justice system. We will not know. When we get to that point, that's just my opinion. Anything else outside of that is just not what we need. It needs to be justice. Maybe the clip is ready now. Maybe the clip I was trying to show you is ready now. This is a pic. There are the photos. Get the hell out of here. Get all the way out of here. A federal judge who ruled last week that Trump administration couldn't freeze federal funding for USAID and other grant recipients failed to fully disclose his fiduciary interest to Rhode Island nonprofit he's overseen for 20 years that received $128 million in government funds, the American First Legal Group alleges. Calling on Obama-appointed U.S. District Court Chief Judge John McConnell to recuse himself, AFL uncovered documents showing the judge, who enacted a temporary order against the Trump administration, served a 12-year stint as the director of a nonprofit and NGO, Crossroads, Rhode Island, where he still serves as chair emeritus. Wow, where he is. Wow. Chair emeritus, U.S. Courthouse. According to the AFL, there's Judge McConnell presiding over, let me make this bigger so we can look at the numbers. That's too big. Okay, we might not be able to see. We'll get to the numbers further down. I'm sorry, guys. Let's be like that. According to AFL, there are several issues with Judge McConnell presiding over the case, including the fact that he did not disclose his financial ties to a company receiving federal funding, in addition to the fact that the judge must avoid the appearance of bias. Now, I can't even see that. Hold on. Let me see if they give us larger. Whoa. Get all the way the hell out of here. This dude, we need this big. I need the other document. Compensation of officers, directors, trustee, and key employees. Hours, average hours per week. Individual trustee. Are you trying to tell me this man says that he was 100 hours a week on this and he's a sitting federal judge? Get the hell out of here. Now, this is the nonprofit disclosure forms. If you've ever been involved in a nonprofit, you must specify how many hours per week you work on that nonprofit. That's crazy. Where's the moolah at? Where the money at? Holy crap. 2012, total revenue, $9.5 million. Total expenses, $9.2 million. Revenue less expenses, $368,000. So they spent $9.2 million of the federal funding that they got in 2012. Wow. And he was sitting on the board. You trying to tell me that man ain't getting none of that money? Ooh, boy. Oh, my goodness. Wow. $18 million in... Can y'all see this? $18 million in government grants in 2023. $18 million. Bro, this money they stealing from us. DOGE, the Treasury Access Symbol, TAS, is an identification code linking a Treasury payment to a budget line item, standard financial process. In the federal government, the TAS field was optional for $4.7 trillion in payments and was often left blank, making traceability almost impossible. Wow. As of Saturday, this is now a required field, increasing insight to where money is actually going, thanks to U.S. Treasury. Wow. These people need to be punished, bro. I'm sorry. These people got to be punished. And of course, there's always something. We see how many SpaceX, Tesla, Neuralink, or Boring Company did or didn't have this. It's amazing. The majority of the debt that America's in is because of flat out theft, man. I'm sorry. Flat out theft. Now there's more stories coming out about how the LA fires seem to have been dew weapons. And there's ample video evidence and photographic evidence to show that something was going on, where there's trees that are unburned, but houses are burned completely to the ground. And this guy's probably talking about that.
Christopher Key here live in Malibu, California. I want you to please help me comprehend this. How this home is completely burnt to the ground and I got green grass right here. Can somebody please help me understand that? I'm not a real smart man, I'm not. But look at this. This grass just not burn or what? I mean, is this like fire retardant grass that doesn't burn? But the house is completely gone. Completely gone. The house over there is completely gone. And then over here, if you look back.
Remember, Donald Trump said, look at it. We're not going to talk about what it was, but it looked like something hit it. And when I said that, people were like, oh, DW, you're making up conspiracy theories. The president said it looked like something hit it. We're not going to talk about what hit it, but it looked like something hit it. Remember?
Houses across the way have blue roofs, and they're not burnt up. So this isn't a conspiracy, guys. This is, I repeat, this is a directed energy weapon is what this is, okay? Plain and simple. This was not an act in any form of action. This was an act of war by the government on the people here in Malibu, California. Look at them right there. Roof, perfectly fine. This is crazy. It's insanity. They wouldn't let me in, but I walked in behind everything. They don't want you to see this. Crisis Key, crisiskey.life. Love you guys. God bless. Hopefully I'll make it out of here.
Hey, man. How many conspiracies need to be people to realize that anytime somebody says it's a conspiracy, that they're lying, that it is the truth? I mean, how many times do we have to see this? I mean, really, how many times do we have to see conspiracy become truth? How many times? I don't know. I don't even know what else. I don't know what else to say. I'll see y'all later on this evening where I do a longer video tonight.